Hello everyone, welcome to Programming Knowledge. In this video series, you will be learning what is AWS, what do you mean by cloud computing, how to set up AWS environment, how to use the different services provided by the AWS. So let's begin with the introduction. So in 2006, Amazon Web Services began offering IT infrastructure services to businesses as web services, now commonly known as cloud computing. One of the key benefits of cloud computing is the opportunity to replace upfront capital infrastructure expenses with low variable cost that scale with your business. With the cloud, businesses no longer need to plan for and procure servers and their IT infrastructure weeks or months in advance. Instead, they can instantly spin up hundreds or thousands of servers in minutes and deliver results faster. So today AWS provides a highly reliable, scalable, low-cost infrastructure platform in the cloud that powers hundreds of thousands of businesses in 190 countries around the world. So the next question comes to our mind is what is cloud computing? So the cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of compute power, database storage, applications and other IT sources through a cloud service platform via the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Whether you are running applications that share photos to millions of mobile users or you are supporting the critical operations of your business, a cloud services platform provides rapid access to flexible and low cost IT resources. So, with cloud computing, you don't need to make large upfront investments in hardware and spend a lot of time in the heavy lifting of managing that hardware. Instead, you can provision exactly the right type and the size of computing resources you need to power your newest, brightest idea or operate your IT department. So you can access as many resources as you need almost instantly and you only pay for what you use. So cloud computing provides a simple way to access servers, storage, databases, and a broad set of application services over the internet. A cloud services platform, such as Amazon Web Services, owns and maintains the network interconnected hardware required for these application services, while you provision and use what you need via a web application. So now we know what is cloud computing. Let's look at the advantages of cloud computing. So the first advantage is the trade capital expense for variable expense. So instead of having to invest heavily in data centers and servers before you know how you are going to use them, you can pay only when you consume computing resources and pay only for how much you consume. So the second advantage is benefit from massive economies of scale. So by using cloud computing, you can achieve a lower variable cost than you can get on your own because usage of hundreds of thousands of customers is aggregated in the cloud. Providers such as AWS can achieve higher economies of scale, which translates into lower pay as you go prices. So third advantage is you can stop caching capacity. You can eliminate caching on your infrastructure prior to deploying an application. You often end up either sitting on expensive idle resources or dealing with limited capacity. So with the cloud computing platform, these problems go away. You can access as much or as little capacity as you need and scale up and down as required with only a few minutes notice. So the fourth advantage is the increased speed and agility. So in a cloud computing environment, new IT resources are only a click away, which means that you can reduce the time to make those resources available to your developers from weeks to just minutes. This results in a dramatic increase in agility for the organization, since the cost and time it takes to experiment and develop is significantly lower. The fifth advantage is you can stop spending money running and maintaining data centers. You can focus on projects that differentiate your business, not infrastructure. So the cloud computing lets you focus on your own customers rather than on heavy lifting of racking, stacking, and powering servers. So the sixth advantage is you can go global in minutes. You can easily deploy your application in multiple regions around the world with just a few clicks. This means you can provide lower latency and a better experience for your customers at minimal cost. So now we'll look at what are the different types of cloud computing. So the main three types of cloud computing models which are used in AWS are IaaS, which is infrastructure as a service, PaaS, which is platform as a service, and third one is SaaS, which is software as a service. So we'll look at them one by one. So infrastructure as a service contains the basic building blocks for cloud IT and typically provides access to networking features or computers and data storage space. So IaaS provides you with the highest level of flexibility and management control over your IT resources and is most similar to existing IT resources that many IT departments and developers are familiar with today. So the second one is PaaS. PaaS removes the need for your organization to manage the underlying infrastructure, usually hardware and the operating system, and allows you to focus on the deployment and management of your applications. This helps you to be more efficient as you don't need to worry about resource procurement, capacity planning, software maintenance, patching, or any of the other undifferentiated heavy lifting involved in running your application. The third one is SaaS, which is software as a service, provides you with a completed product that is run and managed by the service provider. In most cases, people referring to software as a service are referring to end user application. With a SaaS offering, you do not have to think about how the service is maintained or how the underlying infrastructure is managed. You only need to think about how you will use that particular piece of software. A common example of a SaaS application is a web based email like Gmail, which you can use to send and receive email without having to manage the feature additions to the email product or, or maintain the servers and operating system that the email program is running on. The next would be the cloud computing deployment models. So there are three cloud computing deployment models. First one is cloud. So a cloud-based application is fully deployed in the cloud and all the parts of the application run in the cloud. So applications in the cloud have either been created in the cloud or have been migrated from an existing infrastructure to take advantages of the benefits of cloud computing. The hybrid one is a way to connect infrastructure and applications between cloud-based services, resources, and existing resources that are not located in the cloud. The most common method of hybrid deployment is between the cloud and existing on-premises infrastructure to extend and grow an organizational infrastructure into the cloud while connecting cloud resources to the internal system. The third one is on-premises. On-premises is the traditional way where the deployment of resources on-premises using virtualization and resource management tools is sometimes called as the private cloud. On-premises deployment doesn't provide many of the benefits of cloud computing, but is sometimes sought for its ability to provide dedicated resources. So in most cases, this deployment model is the same as the legacy IT infrastructure while using application management and virtualization technologies to try and increase the resource utilization. So now we will look at the different AWS cloud platform services which are provided. To access these services, you can use the AWS Management Console or the command line interface or the software development kits, which are also known as SDKs. So what is AWS Management Console? It provides you to access and manage Amazon Web Services through the Amazon Web Management Console, a simple and intuitive user interface. You can also use the AWS Console mobile application to quickly review resources on the go. The AWS command line interface, which is a unified tool to manage your AWS services. With just one tool to download and configure, you can control multiple AWS services from the command line and automate them through scripts. The SDKs simplify using AWS services in your applications with an application program interface, which is an API tailored to your programming language or platform. So the top 10 AWS services in 2019 are: first one is Amazon EC2. Amazon EC2, which is also known as Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, is a web service that provides secure, resizable compute capacity in the cloud. Amazon EC2 is an Amazon service that allows us to create virtual machines and manage other features of servers, such as storage, security, ports, etc. With Amazon EC2, you can create servers in minutes with your preferred operating system. This way, you will have more time to take care of your projects and spend less time maintaining your servers. Amazon EC2 provides developers and system administrators the tools to build failure resilient applications and isolate themselves from common failure scenarios. So there are different instance types of EC2, such as on-demand instances, reserved instances, spot instances. The second service, which is Amazon RDS. Amazon helps us to make our infrastructure less complicated, which is why it provides us with the RDS service. But what it is? With this service, we will have dedicated instances of databases in a matter of minutes, fully managed by the AWS support team, and capable of supporting multiple database engines such as SQL, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, etc. Finally, we'll forget all those hours of maintenance and support to our database servers. The third one is Amazon S3. So Amazon S3 gives us relief when we talk about data because they have an incredible secure infrastructure. In addition to intelligently distributing data in different physical regions, they also have integrations such as PCI DSS, HIPAA, high-tech, FedRAMP. Our data will never be compromised. So of course not. AWS S3 also has high availability. So accessing your information is just a click away. With almost zero latency of 99.99%. Surely how you wonder how expensive this service is. Well, we are pleased to inform you that it is impressively cheap. First, it has free layer that includes 5 GB of storage, and then it starts at the cost of $0.023 per month for the first 50 TB. It is 50 terabytes. The fourth service is Amazon CloudFront. So, have you asked yourself how fast your website is? When your users connect, do they have to wait for seconds to open the page? So, with the Global Content Delivery Service, commonly known as CDN, Amazon is responsible for managing all your content, delivering it and presenting efficiently, with a minimum latency and with its high integration with other AWS services. So, reaching your target users has never been so easy. So, the fifth service is Amazon VPC. Is my information at risk in the AWS cloud? The answer is no. With the private network in the cloud, your information will only be available to the people or systems that you authorize. With AWS VPC, that is the virtual private cloud, you can create a private virtual network in which your entire IT environment, that is infrastructure as or services, will live totally isolated from the outside world. This way, your information is free of exposure. The sixth service is Amazon SNS. So, going back to the developers issue, AWS offers us a very particular notification system that provides integration with any type of application, be it PHP, Python, Node, etc. With Amazon SNS, we can send notification to all our users on any platform, whether it's web or mobile or Android or iOS. So the seventh one is Amazon Elastic Beanstalk. This is the most attractive service for developers. I know that as a developer, you do not want to manage the infrastructure of your site, right? It is normal since it is maintenance becomes tedious and difficult to solve any problem. AWS Elastic Beanstalk relieves all this. Developers no longer need to manage the infrastructure and focus on developing their software or applications. The eighth one is Amazon Lambda. Is your server saturated with many requests? You do not know what to do? Stop worrying too much about infrastructure and less about development. If you, like many other developers, have the problem that your current infrastructure does not support the demands of your developments, then AWS Lambda is for you. This instance allows you to work in an environment highly capable of supporting any development you do. You just take care of the coding, and AWS will be responsible for providing the necessary resources, climbing at the same time so that everything works correctly. The ninth one is Amazon Autoscaling, the magic of AWS. How to expand our application and take it to thousands and millions of users. Well, Amazon again gives us a solution. With autoscaling, we can manage a fleet of servers which are capable of supporting all the traffic that our application demands. The service is totally free. The only thing we charge the number of instances for the time they run. The tenth one is Amazon Elastic Cache. So memory caching system of AWS, which is Elastic Cache, supports Memcache and Redis. So this is not a full list of AWS services. AWS has many more services that surely fit perfectly with your projects. That's why we decided to make this list that we hope you find useful or we think are necessary for your infrastructure. So in today's video, you will be learning about AWS free tier and how to create your AWS account. So let's get started. So what is AWS free tier? So AWS free tier refers to the limited free use of AWS services. AWS offers the free tier as a means for a new user to learn, experiment, and get hands-on experience with AWS core services. Almost all AWS services offer some kind of free usage. So it's a great way for people who are unfamiliar and never used the AWS before to have a means to learn and get hands-on experience without costing them a ton of money. So almost all AWS services offer some kind of free tier usage. So not all AWS services will be covered under free tier. But those core services we will be using in this course will be covered in free tier. So free tier is available for 12 months after you create an AWS account. So after 12 months, the free tier will not be available. And regardless of your usage, you will be charged some amount and you will have to pay for those services. If you failed to pay the amount, then AWS might terminate your AWS account. Free tier is only available for new AWS customers. And actually you can do a lot of things only by using the free tier services. And some services extend free tier usage past 12 months. So the below link, which is aws.amazon.com/free, will take you to the AWS free tier services website, and you can take a look at the different services which are provided under the free tier. So I will show you all those services in couple of minutes. So the next point is how to create an AWS account. So you will need a Visa or MasterCard. Either a debit card or credit card will work, but Rupee debit cards will not work. Small amount of money would be cut from your bank account for card verification and would be refunded back, and that is around rupees 2. So now we are on aws.amazon.com slash you type free and press enter. The AWS free tier web page will open. We can see that there are around 60 products which you can build on AWS using the free tier. So these services are always free under the AWS free tier, and these are for 12 months, and some services are for trials. So they will be available for 1 month, I guess, and after that you have to pay some amount for the usage. You can see that services are given as free tier and 12 months free. So these are some standard services like Amazon EC2. Amazon EC2 provides 750 hours of per month usage. EC2 provides an instance. Either you can opt for a Linux instance or a Windows instance. And we have Amazon RDS, which is Relational Database Service. So we can get around 750 hours per month of database usage. So we have MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, Oracle, and also SQL Server. So we have to take care that we don't go beyond this specified usage. Otherwise, we will be charged for excess usage. So in the left sidebar, you can see different filters. So we can filter our featured services, Amazon EC2, DynamoDB, Lambda. These are all featured services. Then we can go for always free, DynamoDB, AWS Lambda, SNS. So DynamoDB is a NoSQL database service, AWS Lambda, and then Amazon SNS. So all these come under always free. Then we have 12 months free under free tier. So standard services, Amazon CloudFront, etc. Then we can click on trials. So machine learning, etc. We have like free trial for 1 month, I guess, and it provides around 250 hours of Amazon's SageMaker. So it is a fully managed platform to build, train, and deploy machine learning models. Then we have Amazon Lightsail, which provides 750 hours and 1 month free trial. It actually provides virtual private servers. And then we have different services like Amazon AppStream, So we'll look at Amazon's Sales Maker. So it is a machine learning platform. So here you can see like build, train and deploy. So you can put all the raw data in the S3 bucket and we'll train on that. I'll be making videos on that in the future. So now we'll go to product categories. So here you can see analytics. In the free tier, we can use these two services. So Amazon EC2, Amazon Elastic Container Registry. So these are under free tier. You can use Amazon RDS, Elastic Cache. We have developer tools. So right now it is not providing 12 months free. So we can just change the category. So we'll go in featured, Amazon CloudWatch. So you can monitor all the AWS services through CloudWatch. And we can see Internet of Things. So in IoT we have different platforms such as AWS Screen Graph. So it provides three devices, local compute, and we can connect our devices to cloud using AWS IoT. So 250,000 messages you can send and you can pass. And AWS IoT events we have. So let's go in mobile. In mobile you can see Amazon SNS, which is for sending push messages or push notifications to the devices. So you can send 1 million request. So you can see it is given as a new tag. So this is a new service which is added to the AWS cloud services. AWS has Amplify console. In networking content delivery you can see Amazon API gateway. Then in the storage we have all the services like Amazon CloudFront, Amazon EFS. All are 12 months free and some are always free. So 12 months free comes under the AWS free tier and you will not be charged for 12 months, and which are always free will not be charged provided you are not crossing the limit set by the AWS. So you can create a new AWS account now. So the main account we are creating in the starting is called as root user account. So the root user account will be used to create different identity roles or user and groups. So it is called as IAM, identity management. So I'll be making a video on that in the future. So here we are provided with two options, professional or personal, and I will choose the personal and I will provide all the details. So you have to provide details like full name, address, contact number, etc. So I'll fill it quickly. So I will click the terms and conditions and we'll press continue. So here we have to give the payment information. We have to provide our credit card number, credit card or debit card. So here you can see we should not exceed the AWS free tier limit, and it will charge you rupees 2 for the card verification in the beginning, and it will be refunded back to your bank in 3-5 business days. So here it is saying like MasterCard, Visa cards will only work. So I'll fill up my credit card details really quick. One OTP will be sent to your mobile phone. Let me just fill it in. So I'm using my State Bank of India Visa debit card. So the transaction amount is rupees 2. So I'll just make payment. We'll wait for the website to load. You have to enter the 4-digit verification code here. So let me quickly fill it in. So we'll press verify code. We have verified successfully, and we'll press continue, and we can see the support plan page. So here we are provided with the 3 plans: basic plan, developer plan, and business plan. So basic plan is for free, provided with all the accounts. So we are getting 24/7 service, forums and discussion, etc. Developer plan, we will have to pay $29 per month, and you will get one primary contact that can open unlimited number of support cases. If you are stuck on some particular problem, then you can ask for support. And with business plan, you have to pay $100 per month. You will get 24/7 chat, phone and email access to AWS support team. So for this tutorial, we'll be choosing the AWS free. And now you can see the AWS web page. So we'll choose who we are. So we can choose student or industry expert, like that. So my role is student, and I'm interested in, let's say, website and web apps, and we'll press submit. It is just for the recommendation. So now we'll sign in to our AWS console. So this is a root user sign in. So we'll click on sign in with your new user account. So we'll put our email ID here. So let me just quickly put in my email ID here, and then we'll press next. So here we have to give our password, that is root user password, which we used to create in the beginning of the create user account section. We'll now press on sign into console. So this is how an AWS account is created. So in the next video I will be showing you how to navigate through the management console, and what is IAM and how it is set up for different groups and users. So in today's video you will be learning about AWS console, how to go through the different services provided by the AWS console, how to set up the billing reminders, what are the different AWS regions. So let's get started. So now we are on our AWS management console. So here you can see, here you can search for a particular service. So you just have to type the name of the service. For example, I will type S3. So here you can directly go to the particular service. So let it load, and now you can see that the S3 buckets page is loaded. Like that you can directly go to any particular service if you want. The second option is, like, if you are on home page, you can go to the title bar and you can see that there is something called services. So if you press on that, you will get a list of all the services, and you can search also. Here you can see all the different services provided in particular categories in which they belong. So here you can see in the storage we have S3, then database RDS. So we can also sort them in alphabetical order. The second one is resource groups. So here you can create groups for the particular resources. Like, you are creating a static web page.
So you have to use many services for like S3 bucket, then CloudFront. So you can group those services in one particular group so that it will be very helpful for you to manage. So the third option here in title bar is the pin option. So if you click on that pin, it will show you these shortcuts for particular services. So these are one click navigation shortcuts. So you can simply drag and drop the particular services you want to access. So let me search for S3. I will just drag and drop S3 on the top. Yeah. So the second one we'll choose EC2 because we'll be using in the further sessions. Let me just quickly find it. You can also use Command F or Control F. So let me just type EC2. Okay. So we found EC2 here. I will drag and drop it on the top menu bar. Okay. Then click on the pin option. So here you can see they are pinned on the title bar. So here you can see the different alerts. So notification etc. It will come here. So any changes in the AWS console will be notified to you using this bell icon. So you can see billing notification is provided. If there are any changes in the billing etc. or IAM, so it will be sent to you through this bell icon. So keep an eye on bell icon also so that you never miss any notification etc. So in third option you can see your account name, and here you can see my account, my organization, service quotas, billing dashboard. So we'll click on billing dashboards. So in billing dashboard you can see how much we have spent in the monthly basis. So last month is 0 and this month also is 0. So because we have not started using it. So in here you can see the billing does not require region selection. So in the end of the video you will be learning about AWS regions. So these are all the regions which are provided by the AWS, like US East, which is North Virginia. So depending on your location, you have to select the closest one. So I'm in Asia, so I'll choose Mumbai. So in the last one, you can see the support. Here we have support center, documentation, training, etc. So in next section is the creating billing budget reminders. We'll go again in billing dashboard. So here you can see in the sidebar that cost explorer we have cost management. In that we have budgets. So we'll click on budgets, and here we'll create a new budget. So this will help us to manage our usage so that we don't exceed the free tier limit. So there are three options like cost budget, usage budget, reservation budget. So we'll click next. So here we'll give the name. We can give as a monthly usage or monthly budget. So period we can give monthly, quarterly or annually. So we'll give monthly, and we'll have to give it recurring. So we want it fixed budget amount. So if you want to really use AWS in a proper way, so you have to provide some amount here. So you can give it like $10 in order to use AWS perfectly. If you want to use only for using the free tier, so you can give like 1 cent, which is $0.01. So in advanced options we have agreed cost by unblended cost. Yeah, that is fine. So we'll click on configure alerts. So in the configure alerts, you can see we have to provide our email to get budget alerts. Otherwise, you can also use Amazon simple notification service. We'll just use our email. So we'll send alert based on the actual cost, and the alert threshold we'll put as 100% of budgeted amount. And email contact, you can give your email ID here. Okay, let's add email contact. If you want to add more than one email contact, you can add it. I will just put it as one, and then you can also, if you want to use Amazon SNS service, you can click the notify checkbox. So we'll now configure alert. Here you can see the confirm budget page. You can edit if you want some changes if you want to do. Then we'll click create. So here you can see our monthly budget is created. So you can go in the cost budget. Then we have usage budget, and we also have resolution budget. So all budget we have not used any services, so it is provided as 0%. So we'll go in billing. Here you can get your bills, like how much you have used for particular service. In order and invoices, here you will get invoices. If you want to print your invoice, you can do it here from this page. Okay, let's go in budgets. Okay, and then we'll create another budget. So now we'll create usage budget. So depending on your usage of particular service, you can create this budget. You can see that we have not used any services till now. So we have to use any services after 4 days of our usage. You can start the usage budget. So we'll go in AWS free tier, and here you can see that Amazon EC2 provides 750 hours per month. So we'll give name as EC2 usage. Period is monthly. Usage type group. So here you can see usage type we will choose. Then select service. So it is not providing us with the select service because we have not started using our AWS services. So as soon as we start, after like 4 days, we can come here and we can create a usage budget. So we can select service as EC2, and we can provide the budgeted amount. So like we'll put as 750 hours. So this is a fixed, and we can create configure alerts, and we'll just confirm it, and then we'll put next. So in the future I will show you that how to create this AWS budget. So now we look at the AWS availability zones. So right now I am in Mumbai zone. So you can go to EC2 service. AWS services are region specific. So if you go on EC2 service page, you can see that we can change the service location. Now we will go in another service like IAM service. So here you can see it is global. IAM does not provide and does not require any region specification. So for like that we can go in billing dashboard. So here also it is global, and it does not require region selections. So only for services we have to select our region where we want to deploy. If you are working for a client who is in Germany, select the Germany specific zone so that your client get most reliable and fastest service. In this page, it is about AWS global infrastructure. You can see that different zones we have in the world. So AWS cloud spans around 69 availability zones with 22 geographic regions. So more 9 availability zones will be added in a short period of time. So here you can see in the west US, you can see California. In the east you can see the 4 zones. So like that we have Ireland, Europe, Frankfurt, London, etc. So in India we have like only one, and here in Sydney in Australia, then we have Beijing in China, etc. Hong Kong, Singapore. So here you can see that availability zones are 3. So 3 or more is more reliable. So we'll choose the zones which have 3 or more. and which are in orange color are coming soon zones.
So in today's video, you will be learning how to host your static portfolio website on AWS, and for that we'll be using a free domain service. So let's get started. So this would be a multi-part series. So this is a part one, and in this I will be showing you how to get a free domain name and how to set up the DNS service with the AWS console, and also how to get the website from my GitHub page and upload it on the S3 bucket. So let's go on Google and search for free domains, and here you can see there will be something like freenom.com. So click on that link. So here you can see free and paid and special domains. So they provide top level domains like with the extension TK, ML, GA, CF and GQ. So these are the free domains. So these work like normal domains, and you can have it for 1 to 12 months for free. So let's sign in. So you can use Google sign in. So I'll be using Google sign in, and I'll select my email ID. Okay, we'll wait for some time till it loads. Yeah, it has loaded to home page. Okay, and we'll go to services, and here you will go to register a new domain. So here you can search for domain names. So I will search for programming knowledge. So let me type that. Okay, and we'll check availability. So here you can see we have programmingknowledge.ga as a free, and also .gq. So I will select .ga. So get it now. So one domain in cart, checkout, and we'll wait. Okay, the site will load, and here you can see you can get it for 3 months, and I will select 12 months at the rate free, and then continue. Okay, here you have to give your details. So it doesn't matter, you can give your dummy details also, and I have read and agree the terms, and you can continue the order, and we'll press complete order. Okay, our order is confirmed, and let's go to click here. So now we are on home page. We'll go in services and my domains. So here you can see I have already registered 3 domains. So the last one is programmingknowledge.ga. So registration date is given and it is active, and we'll click on manage domain. So the information is provided about the domain. So let me go on AWS console, and we'll go in route 53. So the route 53 provides it is a service it provides to register new domains, or else transfer the existing domains and routing the traffic, etc. So for that we have to do the DNS management. So we click on DNS management, get started now. You can also go for traffic management, but it is not in the scope of this tutorial. Also there is something called availability monitoring, domain registration, but for now we'll go in DNS management. So click on get started now, and here you have to create a hosted zone. So here we have to create an hosted zone so that our domain name is connected with the AWS services. So we'll give our domain name, so programmingknowledge.ga. So let me type that out, programmingknowledge.ga, and the type is public hosted zone. Okay, so we'll create that. So here you can see, there are two record sets. So one is NS, that is name server record set, and second is a SOA, that is start of authority. So Route 53 provides all the DNS services which is required for the routing. So here you can see in the name server they have given. So here you can see in the programming knowledge.ga record set of type name server. If you click on that, you can see the value as name server's addresses. So let's go in the freenom.com, and here you can click on management tools and name servers. So we'll use custom name servers. So we have to provide the AWS name servers in the freenom name servers instead of freenom name servers. So we'll copy and paste it one by one. So there are 4 name servers. Keep in mind that you don't include the dots which are appearing after the .com.org. So take care of that, otherwise it will create an error in the future. So let's click on change name servers. Okay, so our changes are saved successfully, and we'll go in AWS console. And now we'll go to S3 bucket. Let me open it now, new tab. So we'll create a new bucket for our website content to be stored. So let's create new bucket. Bucket name we'll give as the same name as our domain name, programming knowledge. Let me just copy and paste it. .ga, and the region I will take is Asia Pacific Mumbai. Okay, and we'll click on next. Click next again, don't change anything. So okay, click next. Okay, everything is alright. We'll click on create bucket. Let me open a new tab. We'll go on GitHub. So now we are on my GitHub page. So here you have to go in my personal website. So this is a repository which contains the website code for portfolio website. So you can clone it, or you can download the zip file. So let's download the zip. So it is downloading, and it is downloaded. So let's go in that directory and extract it. So here you can see the files which is extracted from the zip file. Okay, so now we'll go in S3 bucket. So here you create open in the so here you open the S3 bucket and click on the S3 bucket and upload, and here you can just drag and drop all the files. So let me get my finder window.
Okay, so select all the files and just drag and drop it in the S3 bucket. And okay, so all the files are there. Okay, so now we'll click on the upload. Okay, I'll just remove the readme. Yeah, all the files are there. So we'll upload. So you can see the files are getting uploaded. We'll wait till it gets uploaded. Okay, as you can see, all the files are uploaded.
So in this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to create S3 bucket policy and initial setup. So we are now in our S3 bucket. So as you can see, we have uploaded files. So go in properties and click on static website hosting. In this, click on use this bucket to host a website, and here you have to give as index.html, and for error you can give error.html. Okay, then click on save. So our S3 bucket is set up for the static website hosting. Now go in permissions. Here our public access is blocked, so we have to unblock it. So click on bucket policy. So in here we have to type our bucket policy for the S3 bucket. S3 bucket policies actually provides us a way to manage the access permission for the bucket resources. We'll click on documentation, and AWS provides some demo bucket policies. So we'll go in bucket policy examples, and here you can see in the sidebar they have given different permissions for different users. So we'll click on granting read-only access to anonymous user. So this is for the public access. So this will provide only read-only access to the public. So we'll copy that and then we'll paste it here. Okay, in here, in the last line on the resource tab, we have to provide our domain name. So it is ProgrammingKnowledge.ga. So I'll copy it from the top. Okay, and after copying, we'll paste it here. Okay. Keep in mind, keep forward slash and star after the domain name. Okay, error access denied. So we'll go and block public access. So here for this only it is blocking the access. So we'll untick that to block all public access, and then we will save it. You have to type confirm for the changes to be saved, and then press continue. Okay. So our public access is provided for the bucket. So we have to type again. Okay, we'll copy and paste it again. Okay, just change it as a programmingknowledge.ga forward slash then star. We click on save. Okay, so you can see the warning has come that bucket has a public access, but it's okay. That is how the public can access this particular S3 bucket. So now we'll go in properties and click on static website hosting. Here you can see the endpoint. Click on that endpoint and you can get the S3 bucket content. So this is the index.html page. So you can see for portfolio, it will go to the tab and then about and the content section. Okay. So we have to route this S3 bucket to our domain. So for that, we have to go in uh, CloudFront. So before that, I will show you the architecture of our static website hosting on AWS. So this is the user. So it will request, and the request will go to Route 53 that manages the DNS management. So one thing to note here is that Route 53 charges some amount for creating a new hosted zone. So if you are working for a client, then it's okay. And if you are just a hobbyist or a student, then you have to take into consideration that it will charge you some amount. So it can be around $1 per month. Then the Route 53 will forward this request to CloudFront distribution. CloudFront distribution is a content delivery network offered by the AWS. So it provides a globally distributed network proxy servers which cache the content, such as in our case website, and it improves the access speed of the website so that the users can access the website very easily. And CloudFront distribution has a cache of the website. So CloudFront is provided with the certificate manager. So we have to include the certificate from certificate manager, or we can also import the certificate if you have bought the certificate from outside. And the CloudFront in turn will get the content from the S3 bucket. So now we'll go for creating the CloudFront distribution. So in here, we go in services and click on CloudFront. It will open a new tab. We'll wait for some time till it loads. Here we have to select create a distribution. Okay, we'll select web, get started. We will provide the origin domain name. So don't select the origin path that is on S3 bucket. We'll go in S3 bucket and we'll go in properties, and here you can see the endpoint. So we have to copy this particular endpoint URL without the HTTP. Okay, the site looks good. Okay, so copy the endpoint URL without the HTTP, and now paste it here as origin domain name. When you first come here, you will get it in the drop down, but don't select that. We have to provide this endpoint of the S3 bucket to the origin, and then we'll create a distribution. If you select the one which is provided in the drop down, then error will come in the later stages. So you can see that the status is in progress. So CloudFront will take some time to deploy it. So we'll go in the general, and then we'll add our alternative domain name. So our alternative domain name is programming.ga. So we have to provide it to the CloudFront distribution so that it can route the traffic to the particular domain name. So copy paste ProgrammingKnowledge.ga, then we'll select custom SSL. So we'll import a certificate from the Amazon Certificate Manager. So they provide free certificate for our website. So type of domain name, so programmingknowledge.ga. Okay, then click on next. Then we are doing DNS validation, domain name system. So click on next, we confirm and continue. And so a request is in progress. So the certificate manager will check if our domain name is exist or not. So for that it takes some time. So actually I had already created a record set in Route 53, so I will delete that. Okay. So now while it is pending, click on the programmingknowledge.ga domain, and here you can see it is in pending. And then here you can see that a record set is provided. We have to copy paste this in Route 53 so that the traffic will be routed to the domain name from our CloudFront distribution. So here you can see only two records are there. One is name server record, another one is SOA, start of authority. So after refreshing also you can see that only two. Now you can just create record as record on Route 53. So here you can see it will automatically copy it into the Route 53. So click on create. Okay, now come here and we have to refresh. So here you can see one more record is added, that is record type as CNAME. CNAME is alternative domain name for the CloudFront distribution. Okay, so we'll wait for the certificate to be validated against our domain name. So we'll go in programmingknowledge.ga or domain name. Let me just type it out first. Programmingknowledge.ga. So you can see that it is not it is still giving an error because the routing is not properly done till now. So you can also try with putting www.programmingknowledge.ga, but will not load. So we'll wait until this request is completed. So I'll just pause the video. It usually takes 2 or 4 minutes for the certificate to be validated against a domain name. So you can see the validation status is success. So our certificate is applied to our domain name. Okay. Keep in mind that the certificate manager will be only be allowed to create in North Virginia region. So if you are on a different region like Mumbai or something else, just change it to North Virginia and create the certificate. So in this video, we will be learning how to add CNAME to the CloudFront distribution. So as you can see in the last video, we had created a certificate. So it is now issued, and you can see that validation is done successfully. Now we'll go in Route 53, and here you can see our record is added already. Now we'll go in services and click on CloudFront. Okay, so here are our distributions. So select the programmingknowledge.ga and then click on edit. Now select custom SSL certificate, and now you can see in the drop down you can see the programmingknowledge.ga. So select that certificate, okay, and rest everything is okay. We click on yes edit. Okay, so now we'll go in our domain name. You can refresh it. Okay, it is not still okay. One thing we have to do is we go again in edit because we want to add the alternate domain name, that is CNAME. So in the alternate domain name, we have to provide a domain name, that is programmingknowledge.ga. Remove the HTTP and then also the forward slash in the tail, and we'll click on yes edit. Okay, so now this is done. We have successfully added our certificate to the CloudFront distribution. Now we go in behaviors. Okay, so in here we have to select the behavior and click on edit, and here we have something called viewer protocol policy. So we'll redirect the HTTP to HTTPS. So if anybody goes like with HTTP programmingknowledge.ca, so we can redirect that user to the HTTPS secure. So okay, so here you can see maximum TTL and default TTL. So this is about the CloudFront distribution cache cleaning time. We'll do that in some time. So our behavior is set up. Now we'll go in our domain name. We'll click on refresh. Okay, it is still not loading because we have to configure Route 53 to connect to the CloudFront distribution. So we'll go in Route 53. We can see our hosted zone. So we'll click on our domain name. Let's load. So here you can see there are 3 records already. We have to create one more record. So name you can give as www.programmingknowledge.ca, but let me keep it as same as programmingknowledge.ca. I don't want the subdomain, etc. So type will keep as AIP4 address, and alias we have to select S, and target we have to provide our CloudFront distribution. So here you can see the CloudFront distribution is there. Click on that. Okay. We verify this CloudFront distribution is the same as the one we have already created. So go in CloudFront. Okay, here in general. Okay, here you can see the domain name. It is given as t39.cloudfront.net. So come in Route 53. Okay, here you can verify it is the same. Okay, and alias is like other name for the particular CloudFront distribution. So we click on next. Okay, our record is created. Now we will go in. Okay, we click on the record. It seems okay. We'll refresh that page, and now we'll go in our ProgrammingKnowledge.ga, and here we will click on okay, connect. We can see our website is loaded now finally. Okay, so this is how we can host a static portfolio website on AWS. So we'll check for the HTTP and HTTPS. So we'll remove the HTTPS and we'll click continue, enter. Okay, let me do it like manually HTTP. Okay. Here you can see that we are already redirected to HTTPS. So it is working. Now we'll type for some invalid URL. So you can see I typed hi and it gave me response like something is not right. We can try with something else like error.html, which is set up particularly for this. It is showing the same thing, something is not right. Okay, yeah, it's the same. It gives anything you type, it will give you error because those pages are not there in the S3 bucket. Now, now we'll go in S3 bucket. So I will show you what will happen if we delete a particular file, or you can say if we change a particular file in S3 bucket. So we click on S or programming knowledge bucket, and here we have error.html. Okay, here you can see when it is uploaded, last modified, etc. So let me open it. Yeah, you can see something is not right. So we'll go in S3 management console, and so here we'll go in actions and we'll select delete. Okay, so yes, we want to delete. Okay, so our error.html is deleted, and then we can go in. We'll close this tab. Now we'll go in our website. We can select. We'll go hi. So it is saying that something is not right. So we have already deleted like error.html. We try error.html. So we have deleted from the S3 bucket. Then why it is showing us the same error page when it is not there in S3 bucket? That is because the CloudFront distribution cache our S3 content, S3 bucket content. So here you can see the statistics reports. So it takes around 24 hours um, to make the changes available on the CloudFront distribution. So after 24 hours, our error.html will be changed. So now I'll show you how to change the CloudFront distribution default cache cleaning time. So we'll select the CloudFront distribution, we'll go in behaviors and we'll select edit, and we'll go now. Here you can see something is called default TTL. So this is the time in seconds which the CloudFront cache will stay before the CloudFront forwards another request to our origin. So that is simply means like it will take this much amount of time for clearing our cache from the CloudFront distribution. So 86,400 means 24 hours. So we'll select object caching and customize. Now we'll change the default TTL as 0. So anything we change in our S3 bucket will change automatically at that particular time. We'll select the next. So here you can see the our behavior we have set up. Now we'll go back to the CloudFront distribution. So you can see the status is in progress. Now open our text editor, it is Sublime Text. So I'll create a new file. Let me close this folder. Okay. So I'll create a new file for error.html. So error.html I will type and save it as a HTML file. I'll save it in desktop. If you select that, we'll type HTML, press enter. Okay, our title will give it as AWS static website host. Okay, so in our body section we'll give an image for the error, like image src will give as location where our image is stored. So let me, okay, so we in our s3 bucket we have image folder, and in that we have our images. So I will type image forward slash, then we'll type the name of the file. So I will give it as error.jpg or png in my case. Okay, that's all. We'll save this file. Now we'll go in Chrome and you can see we have downloaded already one file, that's 404 page not found. This is a PNG file. So I'll upload this file along with the error.html. So I'll upload in this image folder, add files, and we'll go in present 404 error.png. So we'll click on upload. We have to rename this also because 404 dash error is there. So after it gets uploaded, we'll rename that. Okay, it is uploaded. Now click on that. We'll select actions. We'll rename and we will remove the 404 and minus sign that is saved. And okay, our file is saved. Now we have to come back. Okay, select the programming knowledge bucket, and here we have to upload our error.html. So add files, and go in desktop, select the error.html and upload. So our error.html is uploaded. So we'll refresh that S3 bucket. So our region is Asia Pacific, Mumbai, and now we'll go in our domain ProgrammingKnowledge.ga. So okay, now we'll go to error.html or something like hi. Let me show you what happens. Like, see, our error page is now 404 not found because we have changed the CloudFront distribution. So our CloudFront distribution is still not deployed. It is in progress. So let's go with error.html. So since it is not completely deployed, here we can see that our error.html is still not updated. So you can see the status in CloudFront distribution. It is still in progress. So you will refresh that. It takes some time, like around 5 or 10 minutes maybe at most. So you can give like something else if you want. Let's type HTML key. So it will show this error. So the problem for it showing this error for error.html is because that particular file is not still refreshed in the CloudFront distribution. So this is how we can change the CloudFront distributions basic time to load time. Now I'll show you how much it cost for the hosting a static website on my AWS. So we'll go in billing from the services. So let the billing dashboard load. Here you can see our billing and cost management dashboard. So it shows like 0.59. So this is particularly for Route 53. So month to date. So this is September 2019. So it is costing me around 0.59. So our particular services usage, we can see Amazon Simple. It is a S3 bucket. Free tier limit we have 2000 like that. And for this month, it is September, we have 42.27 rupees we have to pay to the AWS for the Route 53 service we are using. And also you can go to order and invoices. So here you can see the detail. Here you can also download the CSV file or print the file. So We have also GST in India, so that is $0.09. So in today's video, you will be learning about what is an EC2 and how to create an EC2 instance on AWS. So let's get started. So now I am logged in on my AWS Management Console. So here you can search for the EC2 instance, or as you can see, I have already pinned on top. So we'll click on EC2 from the top. So what is EC2? EC2 is one of the most popular of AWS services. It is the basic fundamental service which Amazon Web Services provide. So it mainly consists of the capabilities like renting virtual machines or virtual servers, then storing data on virtual drives using elastic block storage, then distributing the load across machines, that is load balancing, and the auto scaling of services using an auto scaling group. So knowledge of EC2 is very fundamental for understanding how the cloud actually works. So any beginner should know about EC2 instances, how to set up EC2 instance, and how to configure the EC2 instance. So let us create our EC2 instance. So here you can see we have 0 running instances, then 0 dedicated hosts, 0 volumes, 0 key pairs, all these things. So that is okay. We'll start by creating an instance. So here you can see the service status of different regions. This is for North Virginia, and you can see the region I have selected as US East North Virginia, because anything new which comes in AWS will be applied there in North Virginia region. So we'll click on launch instance. So here you can see this Amazon machine image, which is called as AMI also. And these are the Linux distros, or not only Linux, but it can also consist of Windows. These are operating system distros, which contains the software configuration for application server or database server, which will help you to launch your instance very easily. So here you can see we have Amazon Linux 2 AMI. So we'll use this for our free tier. We have Amazon Linux also. Then we have Ubuntu server, different version 16.04. Then Microsoft Windows server. Then we also have a deep learning AMI. It is based on Ubuntu. We have different frameworks, deep learning frameworks pre-installed, like PyTorch, Keras, TensorFlow, MXNet. So we have also for deep learning AMI for Amazon Linux, like that. And we have here Microsoft Windows Server. So some of them are free tier eligible. So others are not free, and we will be charged for the usage of those AMIs. So we'll select AMI Linux 2. We'll select AMI Linux 2 for main particular reasons that it will be very easy for us to configure with different services which AWS provides, because this Linux is provided by the Amazon itself, so it will be very reliable for that. So in my armies tab, you can create your own armies. So for example, you have your own server. So if you have deployed your application on your server, you can just create your own army, and you can create a new instance using that army. And you can have 10 or thousands of your servers with the same army. So you can very easily configure your application on different servers on EC2 instances. So this in AWS Marketplace, you can see the different business armies like Trend, Micro, Deep. Then we can search for Oracle also here. Oracle, press enter. So here we have like N2 News, Backup and Recovery. There are different armies. And we have Oracle Enterprise Linux 7.4. So these are all. We have also Oracle Database Server Edition. So these are all commercial armies. And then we can go on next tab. It is community armies. So we have 214 community armies, so which includes, okay, let me clear that Oracle first. Okay, here you can see Amazon 2 army. So that is what we'll use. Then we have Red Hat Linux, SUSE, all those things. In the right sidebar, we can see the different flavors of that: Amazon Linux, CentOS, Debian, So we have different versions of that. So these are all free and open source armies. Then we can search for Kali Linux. So these are all Kali Linux armies, Kali Linux tools in Ubuntu. You can see. Then we have Kali AMD 64. Right. So we clear that out. So we can also select based on the architecture, like 32-bit, 64-bit, x86, and then 64-bit ARM. Okay, so we'll go in quick start. We'll select Amazon Linux 2 ARMY 64-bit x86, and then select it. We press select, and it will take some time. So we have to select instance type. So you can see the free tier eligible. So that is micro, T2 micro. So we have to keep in mind that we have to use only micro for our free tier usage. So it provides 750 hours of micro instance for each month for the first 12 months. So that is okay for us. It is free tier eligible. And so there are different versions like nano, micro, small, medium, large, and we have all. So these are based on the different parameters like network performance. So we choose T2 micro. You can see the CPUs are 1, memory is 1 gigabyte, instance storage type is AWS only, that is okay for us. Network performance is low to moderate, IPv6 support, that is yes. So instead of reviewing launch, we'll click configure and we'll select number of instances 1. So purchasing options, so we are not using the spot instance, we'll be using only the on-demand instances, so we'll not take the request spot instance. So network, by default it provides us a virtual private cloud network, so we'll be keeping it as default. And subnet we can choose depending on our interest, but we'll keep it as default. So auto assign public IP, okay, enable. So placement group, that is not required for this, will not choose it. Okay, state reservation, that is not required. IMA role, so I'll be showing you about IMA role in the future videos. Shutdown behavior, that is stop, that is okay. So these are all advanced settings, advanced details. Keep it as okay, and we click on next, that is add storage. In add storage, the armies or operating system will be having some disk, so we have to add the storage here. So volume type is root, devices they have XVDA, we are getting 8 GB. Actually we are provided with 30 GB of EBS or vanity storage, so right now we are using 8 GB. We can use general purpose SSD. The baseline of 3 IOPS, that is okay. The return termination is default, so that is okay. So whenever we'll be stopping our instance, storage will be terminated or cleared. So this is the important tag. We can add tags here. So we can add a new tag. So we'll give the name as that is name, and we can give value as my first instance. So this will be visible in our EC2 instance tab. So in our UI, so that is important. We can use other tags also, or if you want to use more tags, you can go and learn more, and you can see the docs for that. So tags are very helpful if you want to differentiate different instances based on the tags. So here you can see database tags you can use as DB test or DB production. So you can go through that if you are interested in that. You can next configure. Click on next configure. In the step 6 we have creating a security group. So we'll create a new security group and we'll give a name as first instance, first EC2 instance security group. So description we can give as first EC2 security group. Okay, then type we can give SSH, that is by default, and protocol we can give TCP port res32. Source we'll be using as custom, and it is from everywhere, that is 0.0.00, and description will give as such for my first instance, and you can see the warning, the roles with source 0.0.0 allow all IP addresses to access our instance. So it is also giving us an error here. Your security group first EC2 instance is not accessible to the whole internet. In instance type, you can see the one CPU, one memory gigabyte. Security group, it is okay. Instance details, storage, we have 8 gigs. And then text, we have name my first instance. Then we'll click on launch. Then we have to create a key pair for that. So this is a private key pair. So we'll click on create a new key pair, and we'll give a name as actually this is a private key .pem file, and we have to store it in a secure accessible location. So the key pairing name I will give as first EC2 instance. We'll download the key pair. So you can see one file is downloaded of extension.pm. Then we'll click on launch. So it is now saying initial launch is accessible and your instance are now launching. So get notified of estimated charges. So this is a free tier, so we are not charged anything. So we'll click on view instances. Here you can see our instance state is pending. Availability zone is 1C, that is US East 1C. Type is micro. Instance ID is given. Name is given. So the name tag we had used earlier is visible here. So in the down you can see the description of the instance. So we have private IP provided here, and I'll be going through the different IPs. So our EC2 instance is running, and we can select actions, and we can choose stop, reboot, or terminate from there. So this is how we start or create a new EC2 instance. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.